So Brandon, I'm just seeing there 53% quiet quitting. Interesting concept. Could you just briefly elaborate on that, if you don't mind?
It's obviously early signs of disengagement, right? You'd be able to see, look, with the adoption of AI as well, that a lot more people may not realize, but a lot more is added to people's workload. And I'll just go back up to this slide.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So a lot of people
The quiet quitting.
Yeah. The reason why I started going into AI, adding a lot more load to people, is because you can actually then also apply the AI to generate reports alerting businesses to signs of quiet quitting. And
Yeah.
quiet quitting doesn't mean or disengagement that someone doesn't want to work. It could be that someone is overworked and in that burnout zone, and they're just throwing their hands up saying, start bashing my head against the wall, right? I've been asking for more resources. I've been asking for more. I'm done. I can only do what I can do. And, and that sort of leads to people then looking for employment. So if you have those sort of things, you could obviously address those, manage actually what is happening, because this is not happening to one person. It could be a number of people across a number of sites or globally. You just can't touch and feel that, right? And we talk about wanting to work from anywhere. How do you actually know that someone's disengaging unless you're physically talking to them, or you check in every day and you have it and you talk, right?
Yep. Yeah, understood. Okay. So really, at the end of the day, it looks like Prohance is more or less leveling the playing field and allowing it to be a fair practice with regards to the right to disconnect. Because evidently, as you can see, employees today want a fair work-life balance. And it seems like with considering Prohance Analytics, that could potentially offer that solution. But on another note, Prohance, it's a leader in the workforce analytics and productivity software. And I believe you've grown massively now to about 410 licenses under management. Can you explain what challenges your clients are facing that is driving this incredible adoption of the platform?
Right. So, as I said, the right to disconnect is just another, if you like, spanner in the works, right? But if you look at companies that have been in the media for, the financial risk is important, but also what about the reputational risk, right? Companies that have underpaying staff, companies that haven't actually adhered to, time sheeting, etc. So you can see a number of people are now bringing in timesheets as well, just to make sure they're compliant. So those, from a risk perspective, those are the things that we're seeing. But then on the flip side of that, you also have organizations that are paying too much in overtime. How do you actually know, and this applies internally, or your flexible workforce or outsources that you're using? How, we talk about governance and compliance, but as I said, some of the other key challenges associated with this is, how do you actually right size not just your own business but your outsources as well? You don't actually have a measurement to see whether your workload is distributed equitably across your organization. So these are but some of the challenges people are facing, and we can go deeper into it and talk about processes, etc. But I'd like to just focus here on the actual challenges and what's happening right now. And I'm not sure how many people actually pay attention to these type of things, but there are also cases of where this type of technology has been used in the wrong manner, right? So every other technology could be used for right or wrong. And in the point of a certain organization that I won't mention that was in the news lately was how they were driving their warehouse staff to have 100% productivity. Now, I'm sorry, but human beings aren't engines, right? 100% productivity. Yeah, you'd want to be looking, if you have a workday of 8 hours, I think you should be satisfied between 6.5 to 7.5% hours, and that's what's called healthy utilization, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Now, interesting slide there. Accenture warned of a 40 million payback for risk over time. Coles accused of underpaying more than 7,500 employees, 115 million. So it seems like with Prohance Analytics, there could be a preventative measure there potentially from the solution, especially with regards to the right to disconnect. Another question, Brendan, you've helped.
Just before you go further, I just wanted to add one thing, right?
Sure.
Should have done this at the start. I am sure that no organization intentionally means to underpay their people.
Yeah.
It's the lack of data that's exposing these risks.
Yeah. And with Prohance, what you're basically saying is that will provide that data potentially. Is that correct?
That's correct. And to go on from that, when we talk about burnout, again, that same study has reported a 53% increase in mental well-being related to stress and burnout. And actually organizations are reporting 77% of organizations are actually reporting an increase in mental health needs. And that was a study done by the Health Business Group.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.